Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Forbidden Door Forbidden Door review. Coming up, eating the matches of what's going on with Forbidden Door. Get Forbidden Door review started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of a special edition of the Pro Wrestling Show for the Forbidden Door review. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. All right, let's not waste no time whatsoever. Get things started right here, right now. All right, we're going to get things started with this. I told you, Edge and Christian back together. Back in the saddle again. You see Edge and Christian now reliving their moments. They haven't teamed since 2011. Man, time has changed. Time has flied by. You think about it, Edge and Christian, the most decorated tag team of all wrestling, back together again. Back together in the South. They went against Luchasaurus and I forgot that other dude's name. Most people might know who he is. Let me know. But he was in action night. Edge and Christian. Forgot that dude's name. If anyone might know, let me know. We saw that tonight. What we saw tonight was that with Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian reuniting back. It makes it feel so good. Edge and Christian won that match on Luchasaurus and Kip Sabian. So Edge and Christian back in the saddle again. One day my Edge and Christian, they're back and they're back together once and for all time's sake. Can Edge and Christian continue this momentum? This is the question that everybody wants to know. We'll see if they're going to go down eventually. We'll see with Edge and Christian. Also, too, we told you that Kyle Fletcher defended the TNT Championship. Kyle Fletcher defended the TNT Championship. Kyle Fletcher on his way. Kyle Fletcher on his way. All right. Defending the TNT Championship. Did so. Defending it pretty well. And so Kyle Fletcher getting the victory over that dude that kind of looks like Shinsuke Nakamura. And stuff. Kyle Fletcher. In the Duke in the 1, 2, 3. Fletcher's on his way to perhaps on his way to glory. Who knows what Kyle Fletcher what's going on? But Kyle Fletcher wins. Kyle Fletcher continues his momentum and continues on his stance throughout. We'll see what Kyle Fletcher is going to do coming forward with Kyle Fletcher, stuff like that. For Kyle Fletcher, how he's going about. Mercedes Moné defending her championship, her TBS Women's Championship. It's like the TNT Championship was defended by Fletcher. Now the TBS Championship now defended by Mercedes. Mercedes won and nearly escaped in a fatal four-way match. Mercedes Moné, proud. She keeps her championship intact. Mercedes Moné, the CEO, really done so tonight. Mercedes getting the victory over a lot of people from different promotions that wanted to take her crown. They couldn't take her crown tonight, but Mercedes Moné leaping bounds and stuff on what she did tonight. Mercedes continuing her momentum. Mercedes Moné continue the fight that she did, and Mercedes Moné doing what she did best, being the CEO. Mercedes Moné, CEO, her way to the top, and she did so tonight. Did it well. Good for Mercedes and stuff like that. Keeps her championship intact. Well, we saw a shake of hands right here as what's his name? Got that Nigel McGuinness took on dude name Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. and now Kyle McGinnis were in a match, and it wasn't a physical tough match. We knew there was going to be a physical tough match. Both men, technical wizards of their own right and stuff, led the way and led the primrose path of what went down and did so tonight. You saw that what's his name had the upper advantage. He did so. Did really didn't hold back one bit tonight, and did so tonight as they did. So looks like what's his name keeps his championship intact. And we see how things go, how everything's freed up for him and stuff like that. And we saw it and stuff became. Well, we get to this right here. We saw Mercedes Moné retain the championship, and she did. It looks like Jamie Hayter is coming back. Jamie Hayter looking like she wants a receipt. Jamie Hayter want to hear her hand. You know who down the road. So we'll see if Jamie Hayter will do so later and how that will go down eventually. But Jamie Hayter's back. We don't know who she's going for. I think she's going for Mercedes. Jamie Hayter looking for a fight, and she's gonna get a fight down the road against Mercedes Moné. She wants that championship bad. Well, we have new tag team champions. It looks like Bandito and Brody King are the new tag team champions. Let's feed the Hurt Syndicate in FTR. The Hurt Syndicate FTR going through a lot of changes and stuff like that. The Hurt Syndicate no longer the tag team champions. FTR no longer the tag team champions. What's going on? FTR and the Hurt Syndicate on what's going down, and we see that now Brody King and Bandito now the new tag team champions of AEW. I'm kind of shocked at that. Hey, you saw how that went down and stuff. Well, we see that we can go to it right quick. Let's go to it. Can we go to it right quick? We got time. We see that Timeless Toni Storm defeated Athena. And Timeless Toni Storm is now the new queen of AEW. Timeless Toni Storm retained her women's championship over Athena. Athena will no longer be challenging her for her AEW championship. Athena lost those privileges tonight. Timeless Toni Storm continues her win streak, and she continues on a huge win streak. I don't know who's going to be able to stop Toni Storm. She's been on a roll as of late, and Toni Storm continues to get better and better, being the likes of Athena and Mercedes Moné. It's just the sky's the limit for Athena. For Toni Storm. Toni Storm continued that momentum. What she did, like, how can you say Timeless Toni Storm without giving the Timeless one her credit? Timeless Toni Storm has done so tonight by being Athena, and did so tonight when Athena really didn't mix courage. Athena kind of like now wondering what's next. Toni Storm on a prowl, on a mission. She done it, and she has done it tonight. Toni Storm getting the rich accolades that she so richly deserved. She did so tonight, proving to the world that she didn't need no Athena. Athena really put her much. Just wasn't enough tonight. On Storm on a roll. Toni Storm continues that roll. She continues that momentum and stuff heading to her situation. Toni Storm really did it tonight. Congratulations to Toni Storm. Well, we told you about this. This was a shocker right here. Wardlow returning to Forbidden Door, helping with the Swerve Strickland situation. Wardlow helping Okada defeat Swerve Strickland. Swerve came out there looking all dressed to the dapper. It just wasn't enough for Swerve. Swerve looks like he's been now put into a conundrum with Wardlow. Without Okada was gonna lose his championship. Okada really playing everybody. Had an ace in his sleeve. That ace up his sleeve was none other than the big mighty Wardlow who returned. Wardlow's back, and Wardlow did some damage tonight. One thing about Wardlow coming back with some key presence. I tell you that right now. Wardlow isn't afraid, now part of the Don Callis family. I don't know for how long, but Wardlow knew what was going on. Wardlow back. I think Wardlow's trying to make a statement one way or another. That's what Wardlow was trying to do tonight. Well, you see Wardlow right here. He's back looking jacked than ever before. Wardlow's back. Like we said, we saw that with Wardlow. Wardlow in the upper hand over helping Don Callis with a problem that he had. Well, we go to this right here, the main event, and the main event was this. MJF went against Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page. You see MJF ain't like Ric Flair or something. We don't need another Ric Flair, but MJF likes to call himself the modern day Ric Flair. That's not like Ric Flair, acting like Ric Flair. He did so tonight. But MJF really tried to put in all his might. It just wasn't enough. Hangman Adam Page, still the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Hangman still getting the Duke. Feeding Wardlow to get the victory. One thing about Hangman Page causing a sink, doing what he needs to do to end MJF. Did so tonight, putting the end, put a stop to MJF. I think MJF still got that contract still disputed. Imagine and wondering what's next for Hangman. What Hangman's next opponent is going to be. Because you got to wonder, whoever Hangman's next opponent is, they better be primed and ready. Come out there, Hangman's ready. We'll see. Hangman got up his sleeve. Hangman looked like he was ready tonight. He was ready. Well, we get to this right here. The main event. As you see right here, you see Kyle Fletcher, Okada, the Don Callis family getting stronger and stronger. Now he's gonna get stronger and stronger as well. You saw right here, Will Ospreay coming out there. Ospreay coming out there with his team to take on Moxley's team. Ospreay looking to get the upper advantage right here, taking on Moxley's team, making Moxley's team pay. See Moxley telling him he's giving him an inch. Speaking of Will Ospreay, he brought out the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Abashi coming out there. The Golden Lovers coming out there, keeping their eyes. The Golden Lovers doing what they're doing and stuff to replicate what they had going. The Golden Lovers making sure they want to be represented in some form or fashion and stuff. That's when they met the Golden Lovers. Well, as Moxley's team with former executive vice presidents, the Young Bucks coming out there. The Young Bucks coming out there to get a close bird's eye view. They in this match. It was sort of like a steel cage, sort of like blood and guts, but it just Wasn't no blood and guts. I can tell you that right now. And it kind of went down from there, as you see right here. No, you know what and how that went down eventually. But the Young Bucks really was trying to get themselves together one way or another. The Young Bucks doing what they need to do. The Young Bucks seeking what they had to seek to and stuff. The Bucks getting themselves ready. And you see right here, this table spot right here. I don't know what was going down. And it just went downfield right there. Crash on down. Crash and burn. Look like that crazy dude, Mark Briscoe, crashing on down and did so, giving the giving Ospreay's team the victory. Ospreay's team won with the help of everybody. Ospreay's team was there until the Death Riders came out there and tried to attack him. And none of the Death Riders had everyone fooled, and they did the little concerto thing to Ospreay, paralyzing Ospreay. I know Ospreay had to get back surgery, and Ospreay's gonna be really had to get back surgery. You can tell right here, Ospreay receiving injury right there, injury to where it hurts. Hopefully, Ospreay, we hope is okay. We don't know the updates right now, but Will Ospreay took a severe attack tonight from the back of the chair. Ospreay now, perhaps we don't know what his condition is at this moment, but once we do, we'll let you know. Probably let you know tomorrow on the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Wow, Will Ospreay really won for his team, but Gabe Kidd and Cesaro did the work and did the damage to Will Ospreay. Hopefully, Will Ospreay is okay, and we'll get a close update on Will Ospreay coming up tomorrow on the Raw Ring Report, or perhaps the more update on the AEW Ring Report this Monday on what the status and the condition of Will Ospreay at this moment. But Forbidden Door was good. I thought I had some of my picks. I didn't expect Bandito and I did not expect that that Bandito and Brody King was gonna win. I thought it was gonna be the Hurt Syndicate and stuff. But who knows? They probably a buffer because the Hurt Syndicate didn't want to lose to them and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on with that. But we see right here, Hangman Page still the world champion, defeating MJF, and Mercedes Moné still the TBS Women's Champion. And she did so tonight with the CEO. And Timeless Toni Storm gets the victory over Athena. And you see that Wardlow has returned. Wardlow's back. Wardlow's back better than ever. Now we're officially part of the Don Callis family. We can show you right quick. Wardlow, now official full-fledged member of Don Callis family. Wardlow's back with Don Callis and everybody else. All right. We're going to leave you with, unfortunately, Will Ospreay receiving that injury. And we hope Will Ospreay gets some help, and we'll learn the condition of Will Ospreay coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show. So for me being Kendra Dix, saying so long, thanks for watching the Pro Wrestling Show Forbidden Door review. We'll have the Heat Wave review immediately following Heat Wave. See you then.